Hello, YouTube. I'm Vince White. I'm an employment attorney. Pardon my cough. I'm getting over my, excuse me, third round of COVID, but I got to keep the answers coming, right? And I figure you're not here for the sound quality. You're here for the answers. So happy to help. We have a question from YouTube user name Ricardo Fernandez, and he posted a question saying, "My job just terminated me this past week, April 28th of 2022. They sent everyone a notice saying vaccine is required to work by the company, but they also sent out medical and religious exemption forms to fill out for those not getting the vaccine. After months of questions through emails answering everything they asked, and even sending them supporting information, I was still terminated. I have copies of guidelines they have posted. I've worked the whole time without being vaccinated and the option of being tested weekly, which I accepted. My job, 99% of the time, is me working from a car." Okay, so you don't mention here which kind of exemption you applied for. If it's a medical exemption, it sounds like you would have already supplied a letter from your doctor, which is generally going to be required for a successful medical exemption. Your doctor would have to say that you cannot obtain the vaccine. You cannot take the vaccine, right? So those are always the strongest of these claims. If that's what you have, that's certainly something an attorney can try to help you with, right? There's many many medical conditions that will not allow you to take the vaccine for a variety of reasons. If you are applying for a religious exemption, I have a couple of videos on this topic, um, kind of explaining the difference between the very few faiths that are prevalent in the U.S. that, as a core tenet of their faith, forbid you from taking the vaccine. All of those, and I'm not going to name them because people will go out and pretend to be members of those faiths. All of those faiths have a very good chance of being granted a religious exemption if you're able to show an ardent and long-standing activity in that faith, belief in that faith, right? Now, there's also smaller faiths that have smaller congregations, and you might need a letter from your specific leader of your specific faith enclave, whether that is a pastor, a rabbi, a leader of a Wiccan circle. I hope I'm getting that correct, and I'm sincerely hoping I'm getting that correct. Or a number of other faiths. Those are less strong than the faiths that forbid you with long-standing, rules to take vaccines. But it's still something you can fight potentially if it's if you have a clear directive from your religious leader. It can be expensive to fight those. It's not something firms are taking out of contingency. These are not cases where firms win money. These are cases where you will have to pay firms out of pocket because what you're seeking to win is the right to go back to work without a vaccine. And I certainly commiserate with you. I believe in your bodily autonomy. I believe that in the same way a woman should have a right to choose, you should have the right to not be forced to inject your body if you don't want to, right? But that brings us to the third category. And excuse me. So if your exemption is one that would fall under personal belief, these are going to be the religions of one, where you you have your own faith system, you follow your own direct path to your deity, you have come to believe in your own rules. Those can theoretically win. They are a long shot. They are difficult. The case law on that is very difficult. A lot of that case law goes back to non-employment cases tied to people dodging the draft, saying they had personal beliefs they couldn't go to war, stuff like that. So, long story short, there's many ways that an employer can refuse a religious accommodation and potentially be successful, you can litigate with them. That would be an expensive proposition. But I'm just trying to give you the information so you're armed with that. And I wish you the best of luck. I sincerely do. Take care.